And of course, we mentioned that Brett Werkheiser, along with Steve Glass, who we saw at 125, were the president and the vice president of their student council.
Action right away, 4 seconds, and they're right at each other.
A teacher at Penn Hill. He's been an official at the National High School Wrestling Championship.
I think that was very well put, Ron. That's exactly the style of both these wrestlers. Very solid, scholastic. Not too many fancy moves, just right at you.
Jenkins in on that on a single. Werkheiser very quickly in on a wizard. Good hip pressure by Jenkins here.
Werkheiser's in trouble here. He may have to bail out. Jenkins with the 2.
Brett Werkheiser's brother, Kyle Werkheiser, was also a state champion in Pennsylvania. Wrestles at the University of Wisconsin. So Brett had somebody to look up to when he was progressing through his wrestling career, as well as Jenkins.
He's the president, and Brett is vice president and secretary of their student council. Brett is also a 30-year member of the National Honor Society. And he takes part of the rehearsal to tie the match.
30 seconds, 2-2.
Well, we had a 36-0 record this year with 22 wins. His career record, 128-10.
Jenkins jumping on the bottom, getting a caution. 135-pound bout championships. Bobby Jenkins wants to get out of there. We can't afford another. Now we're going to get into the stalling.
Another caution against Jenkins would be a point. It's 2-2.
And those technical violations pile up in the same criteria that stalling would as far as point getting would be. Brett Werkheiser working the bow and arrow. This was popular, Ron, about 20 years ago. Coming back.
Oh, Steve, I see it a lot now.
It's like those wingtip shoes, don't throw them out.
Everything comes back.
Except for bell bottoms, they'll never come back.
Does that mean I have to throw my leisure suits out too?
No, I actually think that they're hazardous waste. You have to go to an approved site for them, Ron.
I draw the line at my string ties. I'm sorry. Anyway,
2-2.
Just started the second period, and Brett Werkheiser on top.
Brett keeping good pressure up top. Works an arm bar, trying to pull it out.
Jenkins in his semifinal match, which was a 4-2 victory over Mike Mason of West Virginia, had a little bit of trouble getting off the bottom. Mason rode him, and here's a tilt.
Werkheiser trying to load him up here, getting that leg elevated. He's got the hip under. He's got to break that 45.
Pat Jenkins telling him, get belly, get belly.
As the bottom man, with a man, it's even very difficult for you to feel that you did break that plane. Next thing you know, you have 2 points against you. Stalemate, no action, back to the middle. 1:04 left in the second period, 2-2.
Jenkins spent over half of the semifinal match against Mason on the mat, trying to get out. And that really was his only close match of the tournament. Werkheiser's closest match was 7-3 in the quarterfinals, so he's had things pretty much his way as well.
Brett working real.
Now a stall warning against Werkheiser.
What he's telling him is, I believe that he was staying parallel a little bit too long with his pinning combinations. That's exactly what he's telling him. He wants him to get out to angles, and he wants to see a crank. If you're going to throw that half or have a leg in or work some bars, you got to work angles. Bobby Jenkins almost out. Werkheiser, low leg. Has him on his back. He's got two coming. He doesn't really have a lot there. He had enough to get the two, though.
Near fall for Brett Werkheiser. You know, I noticed that Jenkins really doesn't look for a stand-up coming off the bottom very much, and I think that's really the most reliable move off the bottom is a stand-up.
You watch Werkheiser on top, he'll bury that head and get that chest all the way up on top of Bobby Jenkins, which makes it very difficult for him to try to pull up on a stand-up or to try to get any movement, which you'll see with a good bar man. That body weight's got to get up top. Right there it is again. Yep. Werkheiser warned for stalling, Jenkins with 2 cautions against him. Werkheiser trying to work that arm through, trying to get some tilt points.
Couldn't quite beat the buzzer with it.
Good work by both wrestlers. 4-2 going into the third. Werkheiser down. Do we see Mr. Jenkins on top yet, Ron, or we didn't?
A little bit in the first period after the takedown, but then the reversal.
We'll see what decision he makes here, whether he wants to try to turn him for the back points or cut him loose.
I think Jenkins probably will like to go on the feet here.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. He was attempting to just kind of cut him loose, and Werkheiser right back into him.
And there's a nice switch.
2 and 2, standing switch. Bobby Jenkins working a little bit of Werkheiser, giving him some of his own medicine, trying to nosebleed on Bobby Jenkins. There'll be no injury time.
I mentioned earlier that Bobby Jenkins was a 3-time Utah State champion.
1:30 to go in this bout.
He watched his older brother.
Jenkins was had a little bit of a problem with a nosebleed in the semifinals.
Bobby's goal to be a 3-time state champion, just like his big brother Pat. Bobby won those 3 titles exactly 10 years later, after his brother achieved his goal. And we're told that now big brother Pat has a new hero in his little brother.
This elite field started out with 513 wrestlers. 3 days of competition, 8 mats, brings us right down to the finals. 135-pound weight class. 6-4 is the score, minute 30 in the third period. Brett Werkheiser over Bobby Jenkins. Coming in the third period, Werkheiser down, Jenkins on top. Jenkins almost an early jump there again. Werkheiser with a head spin. Comes behind him for 2. You don't have to bring him to the mat for a reversal.
And it's now 8-4. And now trying to work another tilt. Trying to elevate that leg. Jenkins trying to shake the leg, almost went to his own back there.
1:05 left in the third period, 8-4.
Where Jenkins has gotten beat here has been on the mat.
Here's that stand-up. Werkheiser still trying to work his tilts. Trying to work that arm through the crotch.
He was ridden out the entire second period of his semifinal match, and he took down here in the second period and was ridden out again. And
there it is.
that's the third caution against Jenkins, and he's really in the hole now.
One. Brings us
Now
to
he does get out.
Werkheiser right back in. Single to a double.
Didn't give Jenkins a chance to set up.
Werkheiser really has not let Bobby Jenkins move or breathe very much this bout run.
Jenkins had the early takedown, and that's really been all.
Off the mat, 11-5 Werkheiser. Still working for the fall. Trying to get another tilt out of this.
Final seconds ticking down.
It looks like Brett Werkheiser is going to be our champion. Great job.
11-5, the score for the decision at the national championship for Brett Werkheiser of Pennsylvania.
And that's the second championship for Pennsylvania.
Bobby Jenkins ending a great high school career.
With Brett Werkheiser now, and Brett, that was a great match, 11-5. What about this tournament? How was the competition?
I thought the competition was pretty stiff. You know, I went out each match focused the same way. It was a really fun tournament. No pressure. Just went out after them, I guess.
How does it compare to the Pennsylvania Championships?
I think there's a lot more pressure in the state because this is like a postseason tournament, and you train hard for it. But I think it's a lot less pressure, more fun.
Well, the states have your school and all that involved too. What tonight in the match tonight? What was working for you?
I think really this tournament I wrestled really aggressive on top. Really didn't. I think the difference, I didn't really give up any points. Stay tough in each position. I think that's what you have to do.
Well, now how does it feel to be a national champ?
Feels great.
Good. Congratulations. Yeah.